Why does this batch file fail on a REM line? I refer to question and text to end of file name, but before extension, using batchfile as I have the same problem. Using Windows and NBSP, 732-bit Enterprise, I know, with all updates I wrote a tiny batch file, for name.bat, with only 3 lines. A comment, starting with, REM, and no hidden continuation sign more to the right of the line. The proposed command, copy-pasted from the source as provided by a Karen, commented out with, REM. The adopted command for batch, doubling the %. Running the command, 3, from the command prompt. Works fine. But executing the whole batch file, for name.bat, from Windows Explorer fails. Running the batch file from the command prompt, for name.bat, produces an error message syntax error. You need not to understand German. The important point is that the error message refers to the commented out second line, 2, not to the third line. I tried to retype REM, inserted a tabulator after REM, inserted a second REM after the first, REM, inserted a third line after the second one with the same content and deleted the second line afterwards. Nothing changed, the batch file terminates at the commented out second line with a syntax error. As soon as the incriminated second line is eliminated from the batch works fine. I searched for REM is ignored, but no luck, so I post the matter here. I never heard about or experienced before that the command processor tries at least to analyze a commented out line, and in the case that there is something wrong with the code after the comment sign that it terminates the batch script.
The error message refers to the commented out second line. This is due to the very complex parsing that is used by CMD to process scripts. In short, the parser processes % before pretty much everything else, phase 1, and throws an error as some of the %s need to be doubled as % when used in a batch file. So in a batch file, is a valid command and is a broken command, the %a should be %a, etc. Note that is a valid command when run from the command line, as then the % does not need to be doubled. REM would be processed in phase 2 of the parser, but it never gets there as the % processing in phase 1 has already generated an error and terminated the parsing. For all the gory details of the CMD parser, please read Parsing, How Does the Windows Command Interpreter, cmd.x, Parse Scripts. Stack Overflow.
It doesn't work because even though it is remarked, it is evaluated for substitutions, and then apparently discarded. For batch, your second line is incorrect and should read. The corrections being that in batch programming expansions need to a % rather than a single %.
To add to the existing answers, although REM is used for comments, it is important to understand that it is actually a command that does nothing, not a comment. This is different from a Unix shell, where you have real comments and can add arbitrary text after a hash character. Not only the substitutes are evaluated for the REM command, also file redirects. So beware that the following line will delete the content of the file, because the REM command produces no output, but the empty output will be redirected to the file. Edit. As a comment pointed out, this is no longer true for modern Windows versions. According to this URL, there is now special handling of REM so that redirections are not executed, but this special handling occurs too late to make REM a true comment, as the substitutes are still evaluated.
This fact that REM is not a true comment, but does some processing before being discarded points toward the answer to a problem. In a batch file I had, one that I finally traced to a REM statement. This statement in a batch file was meant only as a reminder of what this section was supposed to do. REM/flag. But instead consistently threw the error. Flag was unexpected at this point. Oddly enough, at previous points these lines produced no errors at all. REM/H flag. REM help flag. Because they worked, it was some time before I found the real cause. It was only by recreating the original file line by line until I got a failure that I found real culprit. Neither Google nor Bing could produce any results at all when searching for. Flag was unexpected at this point. Although both produced plenty for. Was unexpected at this point. Perhaps REM was complaining about text following a flag it knew something of. I don't know. In any case, when I changed REM to echo, everything worked as expected. So I experimented a little more. REM testing/flag caused the error message to disappear as well. I can see I'm going to have to be cautious about REM in the future.
If you want to support the channel, press on consider subscribing.